Hey cats, it's your midsole man EDDBUD here. Now, viewers of the channel will always know that I like to prove myself wrong. Just ask my wife. But I was wrong about the EVO SL. It's a banger. It's a shoe that's been talked about a great deal since its release at the tail end of 2024. And initially, I'll be very honest with you, it wasn't for me. I just didn't like it out the box. That Lightstrike Pro formula does take some time to break in. But it wasn't really the shoe's midsole that disappointed me that much. It was the poor laces and the upper, really, that was the big problem for me. It detracted from my enjoyment of the shoe. I couldn't really get a good lockdown due to those thin and sort of rigid cheese wire-like laces. The tongue would slide around over to the lateral side regardless of what I did. It's a bit short as well. If you want to do a runner's knot, you get the laces sort of digging into the top of your foot there. And whilst those things are still a problem to a degree, after 100 kilometers of testing over the last few months, I think the shoe's really come to life. I wouldn't say it's soft by any nature. I mean, if you want softness in a daily shoe, get the Velocity Nitro 4. That has a softer feel, if that's the type of underfoot cushion you want. But it's responsive and it's very, very consistent across a variety of paces. Anything from easy recovery type efforts around 8 minutes 30 per mile or 5 minutes 17-ish per kilometre, through to threshold effort for me, which is about 6 minutes 40 per mile or 4 minutes 8 seconds per kilometre. It handles all of the stuff in between really, really well. A real Swiss Army shoe. Now, there's many super shoes out there that don't really feel as enjoyable as this does. Some of them just aren't as consistent at a variety of paces like that, and they cost double the amount of money. The midsole here, whilst it doesn't have that wild energy return that we have in some of those ATPU foams in the top-end super shoes, but remember, this is 129 Earth credits, or under 100 Earth credits right now in the Black Friday sales. Now, I'd urge you, if you do pick up this shoe, to temper your excitement a little bit. It does take time to break in. Get out there on some steady runs. The midsole really starts to free up. And now, another trick you can seemingly do to get the best out of this shoe is put it into the washing machine. Yes, I said put it in the washing machine. Now, I don't mean on some like super hot setting for like a couple of hours, 30 degrees, nice, simple, quick wash. Now, it's not really all that different to getting a bowl of water, some warm water and a bit of elbow grease, but that seemed to free up the materials a bit. Maybe it's a placebo. Please don't come running to me though if you do put your shoes into the washing machine and they don't come out okay. Just make sure to buy the brown or the black version, perhaps, if you're running in an area that's got lots of grit and mud and grime. No amount of washing gets it all out okay. It does seem to hang into the mesh at the front toe box section of the shoe. But either way, it hasn't done any damage to the shoe. This one's been in there 3 times, in fact. Not, you know, all in one go, over the months. I just felt so sad for it when I first took it out and completely decimated it. It looked awful. It still looks a bit grubby, but certainly wearable. I have to say, this is one of the most comfortable sort of go-to grab it and run type shoes in the collection right now, and it's even become a go-to for me for wet weather running. Yep, wet weather. That rubber outsole here has smoothed off a bit, but it's an absolute banger on wet concrete paths that are covered in leaves, waterlogged pavements, standing water everywhere. The EVO SL just keeps on providing great traction. No slips, no anxiety. I'll tell you what, it's really sticky. No anxiety-inducing moments with this one. Now, I am aware that the Adidas brand are launching a trail version of this shoe. It does appear to have some tasty outsole lugs there, along with a slightly modified upper as well. But the EVO SL standard just handles pretty much anything that I've thrown at it, it has to be said. Now, I always thought Adidas were kind of missing the key part of their running shoe lineup, that like daily shoe. The SL2 was just too narrow for most people, and it lacked the cushion that people really are looking for those daily, easier paced miles. Boost stuff was just too heavy, and the Supernova Rise was too mushy, and again, a heavier shoe without any real excitement to it. I think that's why these have done so well. People really seem to love them. It just handles anything you throw at it. And when you think about it, it's basically the Adios Pro 3 midsole structure and sculpture without the energy rods and just a tiny bit of extra weight. Comparing this up to the Velocity Nitro 4 from Puma, you definitely feel a bit more nimble in the Adidas model. There's a little bit more pop to it. Does that little plate that you've got in there provide any real propulsion? I don't think so. I think it's really there to provide some stability, a little bit of torsional rigidity there in the sort of arch area. Otherwise it would just be perhaps a little bit too flexible. I think the Adidas shoes are a lot more aesthetically pleasing as well. It is a classic look. The Pegasus 41 doesn't really offer any contest whatsoever. I think the Pegasus Plus perhaps is a better shoe to compare up against this one. Again, this is a lighter shoe, just feels a bit more fun to run in, and it seems to get better and better over time when Zoom X goes the other way. It perhaps grips better as well in the Evo SL over that Pegasus Plus. Comparing it up against ASICS stuff like the Nova Blast 5 or the GT 2000, I think there's a better comparison there perhaps. Both feature better out-of-the-box midsole feel than the Evo SL, but again, over time, this one really takes the crown. Though of course not everybody wants really responsive foam in their daily running shoe. You could say perhaps that Light Strike Pro is a little bit too up for it perhaps for some people to use on a daily basis. You might want something that's a little bit softer with a tad more cushion perhaps and a little bit more heft and a more plush upper. I found myself running faster than I had planned or anticipated on a number of occasions in the Adidas Evo SL, mainly down to that very light, nimble feel. You end up putting the hammer down a little bit more often than you perhaps think you did, and you don't always want that in a daily shoe. It almost feels like a model that just sits a little bit above what a daily traditional shoe might be to some people. It's got more vim, more va-va-voom. It's got the special sauce that people really hunt for within super shoes. Not sure it will be my long run model. I think up to about 12 miles it would be fine. I might be hankering for a little bit more softness after that, but for anything under that, handles it extremely well. So in version 2, please Adidas, if you're watching now, when you send it to me in the future, please put in a lace cutout somewhere just to stop the tongue from sliding around, and can you give us a tiny little bit more length to the tongue? It's a little bit short, and serrated laces as standard, that will do it. Don't change it, it's fine just the way it is, aside of those small details. What's your take on the Evo SL, people? Did you perhaps feel a little bit underwhelmed when you first got it on foot? Did it take a bit of time to win you over, or did you simply dislike it right from the start? Are you a fan, or did it not work for you? Let us know down in the comments. I have to say I'm really glad that I persisted with this shoe, kept on with it, and I've got some really great miles and memories from it. Quick musical interlude for you, continuing my journey and renaissance into the White Stripes material. Really love the track Black Math. It's got to be a favourite for doing any rep sessions or something where you're doing 100, 200, 400 metres and you need something that's up for it with lots of pace, those driving guitars, simple, consistent drumming that does what it needs to do for the song and nothing more. I love the wiry vocals as well. It sounds like they've kind of overdriven them. There's a little bit of distortion almost there. Used to love that sound when I was a little boy listening to Little Richard, and the way his voice was so powerful it overdrive the preamps and the microphones they were using. Wonderful track, Black Math. Often gets a little bit overlooked due to the track that comes before it on that album, which is Seven Nation Army. So I hope you enjoyed this video of me talking about how I was wrong, and I'm glad I was. I like getting a bit more value out of shoes that I buy myself. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, like, and drop us a comment for the algorithm. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you. It's a little bit wet out here today, though it's still quite mild in fairness. I probably could have got away with a long sleeve shirt. I am absolutely saturated now. It is very wet. But I gotta be honest, I've not had any issues slipping around in the Evo SL. If anything, it's probably better in terms of the outsole than when I first reviewed it. It's just sort of improved. It's a bit weird. Seldom the outsoles improve, but this one just feels better. Loads of wet leaves, quite slippery here and there, but no major issues. Hey cats, it's a very wet EDDBUD here. Absolutely soaked. They said on the weather there was going to be a bit of a break in the rain, but it didn't really happen, so I've got drenched. Never mind. As you can see, the shoes are a bit drenched as well now. They were lovely and clean before that. Never mind, that's what they're for, right? So the Evo SL from Adidas, I was pretty hard on it when I first reviewed the shoe. Really didn't get on with it, but as per usual with that Lightstrike Pro formula, this older one, it really does get better the more and more you use it. Now I'd suggest it's a really nice, responsive still, but cushioned daily trainer. Can use it for kind of anything really. If you're looking to buy a running shoe that you can run in and you can wander about in, go downtown in or something, that looks pretty cool as well. It's good. I don't think it's perfect. I still would like some better laces. They need to figure out something to stop the tongue from sliding around. I've tried lacing underneath it again to try and secure it, but that doesn't really work for me in terms of lockdown. It sort of distributes the tension in a place that hurt my foot, so I couldn't do that. But at the price they're going for at the moment in the Black Friday sales, I think it is one of the best running shoes out there right now. So perhaps you can pick yourself up a pair and try them out for yourself, but just remember, you need some braking on that midsole. It's not going to be absolutely 100%. It's not going to bowl you over out the box, okay? It's going to take some time, and that does happen with this foam, so bear that in mind.